Well. Good afternoon and good evening, and welcome to Love SA. And today, don't be surprised to see a yellow man sitting before you on Love SA because I am a guest presenter because we have a very special program to run today. We thought it wise to make sure that as men, we come being three and host this program. Love SA. And we just want to take this time and welcome you all, our brothers and our sisters, on this wonderful program. Remember, it is the Nehemiah phenomenon, and that is let us arise and build our nation so that we be no more a reproach. This is the responsibility of every national or every South African or every citizen of any nation to be patriotic, to make sure that you are contributing in your small way in building the nation. You know, one of the things that is very concerning, specifically with my lovely South Africa, is how we begin to make our voices to be heard. Today, I'm sitting here. Yes, there were protests in Wits was in protest in Bramfontein, but also Capricorn Tivet was they were protesting. The concerns are genuine and we concur with it. We understand. But how does that take us to the extent of burning down buildings? Because that's what they did. How does that take us to where we burn cars? Because that's what happened in Sishiko, just in my township nearby. This is why we say Love SA, the Nehemiah phenomenon. You know, I heard one of the leaders of the right wingers in South Africa speaking and saying, if blacks do not want to be civilized, we don't want to live with them. And you know, such statements, yes, comments will say he's a racist, of course. That's no question. But what he's saying, are we somehow acting in a way that undermines our being civilized? I think introspection is very much important. And I think we have to now look at ourselves, how we behave. Whose property are we destroying? Is it not our own property? Who exactly are we fighting with? Is it not our own leaders? Our leaders, what are they doing? Where are communication platforms so that people are not disgruntled? That is why Love SA says to leaders, let's communicate. Says to people in power, let us do what is good and right. It says to a citizen, contribute in your own way. Do not only ask what the nation can do for you, but ask yourself, what can I do for my nation? That is the Nehemiah phenomenon. Like I said, I'm just a guest presenter. I just want to take this time and welcome the host of Love SA, Mr. Tsembo Manganyi. Mr. Tsembo Manganyi, for your information, and his co-host. These gentlemen are legal guys. You know, these guys are legal gurus. And I'm happy because as they sit on this platform, as they talk about loving SA, I think they also have the legal framework. They understand the constitution. They understand even better and deeper, you know, and they are saying, hey, whatever it is, wherever you are, whatever happened, love SA. And ladies and gentlemen, allow me to welcome Mr. Tsembo Manganyi as our host in this program. Good evening, sir.
Good evening, Pastor. Good evening.
No, I'm a presenter. I'm a presenter and I'm a guest presenter. I'm not bringing my weight as a pastor. So please, I can see you're trying to battle how to call me. Please, Strike is my name.
Yes. Yeah. Look, otherwise, good evening to our viewers, our listeners, and thank you, our guest presenter, Strike Manganyi. It is a good opportunity for us once again to continue to look and really look into this beautiful country it is indeed true that we do have concerns, but is the manner in which we raise these concerns really in line with what should be characterized and described as a constitutional democracy?
Thank you so very much, our host. We really appreciate it. And I would love also to take this time and welcome our co-host. And I must say, our host, you look like yourself. You guys, you really made it. That is Mr. Ngobeni, Kokwan Ngobeni. Kokwan Ngobeni, good evening. And today, a guest is welcoming you instead of you welcoming the guest. Good evening, Kokwan Ngobeni. Unmute yourself, Kokwan, unmute yourself. Yes.
Good evening, our Bold Moves listeners. Bold Movers, I welcome you tonight to this wonderful show, Love SA. I'm happy to be with you tonight. We are today joined, of course, by our executive producer, Ms. Kokwan Mangani. It feels to me right now where I'm sitting that I'm with my instructor right next to me, and I don't know what to do. You know, when nerves suddenly overcomes you and all that. But otherwise, we're looking forward to a very beautiful show. That show, again, where we deal with that burning question, where we ask you, as South African citizen, that personal question: what are you doing for your country? There's a lot of things that goes wrong in our country. And if we are to look into just one entity, and that is the government, to solve everything, it can never happen. We can never, ever move to a place of comfort where we ordinarily want to be. But it's that one person who
Okay, Kokwan Ngobeni. Thank you so very much. The network tried to sabotage Kokwan Ngobeni, but he's settling down. I just want to say to my wonderful hosts, the host and the co-host of Love SA, thank you so very much. We cannot appreciate you enough, gentlemen, for your commitment and your dedication and availing yourselves in your hectic schedules to be patriotic and to be involved in building this great and awesome nation through this program. And I would love also to take this time to say to our viewers, to say to our listeners, those on Bold Moves Radio, those on even on Bold Moves Radio YouTube and Facebook page. Thank you so very much, ladies and gentlemen, for coming along. I would love to appeal to you all. Please, tonight we have our guests, and our guests are Hope Givers Foundation. And Hope Givers Foundation, they tackle quite a lot of different projects, but tonight we'll be talking about Raising Legends Awards. And our guest is just delayed because of traffic, and they will be here. And I would love to say to all our listeners and our viewers, please share this program with somebody even right now, or call somebody. And I would love to say to all parents, you might be a single parent, or you parents that are raising your children together, please help somebody or invite somebody, because what we are going to talk about today, it's a burning issue. You know, the scourge of gender-based violence in South Africa and the world at large, and how, you know, the people are even different organizations will react after a gruesome act of violence or against each other, either man or woman. We know slogans like men are trash and all those things. But it is very much important for us to be proactive. And Hope Givers Foundation, they are coming that direction, and they are doing great and awesome things. And I would love to say to all of you, our viewers and our listeners, please don't just view alone, don't just watch alone. I want you to invite somebody. Don't just listen alone, but invite somebody, so that we be together as we celebrate this initiative and as we also hear what Hope Givers Foundation has to offer. Allow me to take this commercial break, and when we come back, we will be hitting the ground running. Thank you so very much.
24/7. 24/7.
Bold Moves Radio.
Bold Moves Radio.
Afrika nakupenda sana. Oh, Afrika nakupenda sana.
All right. Welcome back, lovely family. And thank you so very much. Like I said, please invite somebody. This program is very, very much important. It's a burning program, I must say. And I would love to say to my host and my co-host, our guest, Miss Bongi Nkanyani, she's with us from Hope Givers Foundation, and would love to take this time and welcome her. Good evening, Mama Bongi, and welcome to Love SA.
Mfundisi, and thank you so much for giving us this opportunity as Hope Givers Foundation to come and join you and your listeners and your viewers this evening to come and tell them how Hope Givers Foundation is actually loving or giving love to South Africa. Ani Neshe Sister Kani, unwell as she is, she will be joining us online, just to share information on Hope Givers Foundation as well, and just to authenticize this whole program and initiative to the listeners of Bold Moves Radio and everyone else that was invited to be a guest today.
Thank you so very much. Sis Bongi. And I will quickly give Sister Kani the link so that she's with us online. But at the moment, let me allow our host to welcome you. Mr. Manganyise.
Yes, and we are excited that now, as just indicated by Strike Manganyi, joined by Bongi Nkanyani. Welcome, and our viewers cannot wait to listen to you unpack what kind and the nature of hope you have for SA. And I must say to our viewers and our listeners that it is not in the name of hope, but it's in the action. It is in the activities that they carry out, in as much as it is not in the name of our program, Love SA, but it is in our activities and how we reach out to share this love that we all need to show for the beloved country, South Africa.
Thank you so very much. And Kokwan Goveni, would you please welcome our lovely guest tonight?
Good evening to you. We welcome you to the show. The show is lovely. We're looking forward to partnered with more knowledge of Hope Givers Foundation. You realize that we are a show with an unconventional way of doing things. We are looking forward to having you in the show as you share with us what you've brought to the show today. Welcome once again.
Thank you so much, our hosts today. We are privileged indeed to be here, to be sharing the little that we're doing to show South Africa that we care and we love our country. Thank you.
Wow. Thank you so very much, my host and my co-host. And I'm a guest host, Sis Bongi, today, that is why I made sure that I put on. But I'm asking myself, was it a uniform?
I think we shared a link somehow because it's a yellow day in the studio.
We also have our guest also, and that is Mama Joy Marivati. Mama Joy Marivati is a health professional, and she hails from the United Kingdom, and she joined us to come and celebrate these mothers, these women that gives hope to, most especially to a boy child. When we look at the program, Raising Legends, at home or at Hope Givers Foundation. Mama Joy, good evening and welcome to Love SA.
Strike for inviting me to this moment. I was just hijacked and I'm so privileged to be given this opportunity to come and meet the yellow people. And I'm looking forward to enjoy this program.
Wow, thank you so very much. Mama Bongi, let's quickly hit the ground running and looking at Hope Givers. Hope Givers, as a foundation, it has got a lot of programs that it's engaged on. But today, of course, we'll be zooming at Raising Legends. But give us an overview of what Hope Givers Foundation is all about.
Okay, thank you so much, Pastor Strike. Hope Givers Foundation was formed in 2014 by the founder and CEO, Sister Kani, who is joining us online through the link that you've just shared with her. We are more focused on community building and educational programs that benefits our communities that we live at, and more especially to the communities around our area, to our education sector, and to anything that benefits basically the community. And which is why some of our programs outside of Raising Legends, they are education related. You know, we've got a program called School of Life, which focuses on both young boys and young girls, which deals mostly with but in social ills. So anything that has got to do with social ills, be it teenage pregnancy, be it substance abuse, be it GBV, you know, your self-esteem issues. That is what that program, School of Life, focuses on. More than that, we have got, we've just established an ICT hub, and under it we have programs such as farming and agriculture, wherein we will use the hub and the farm that we have there by the hub as a practical center for TVETs or universities that deals with subjects that are related to farming or to agriculture. We also will, through the hub, be incubating small businesses, or should I say businesses, that we will help to move from the level that they are at, entry level, move them to the next stages of actually being able to run their own businesses, and not only run their businesses, but make sure that after they have completed the incubation session, they are able to stand on their own and they can actually see rewards of what has been going on during their incubation session. So yeah, our programs are more community driven, and you know, our boy child initiative is the one that is on top right now, because you know, I'm sure you have heard recently the mishaps that we have encountered as a province, as a people. You know, our boy children right now do not have confidence. They don't think we have got an ear for them. So, which is why Hope Givers Foundation, and which is why Raising Legends was born.
This amazing, this awesome, and the CEO, she's ready to join us, and while she's ready to join us, we will just engage you. You know, you know, the initiative itself. I know Mama Tsakan will give that
Yeah.
very well.
Yeah.
But you said it's more educational, which I think it's very powerful in the sense that, look, you educate somebody, you have empowered them, and you have positioned them to stand independently.
Mm.
So that's awesome. And what are the programs you spoke about? The educational, you know, but I see you go all out in empowering communities. What other programs would you love to share with us as I settle down with my guest, Mama Tsakan?
Over and above, I mean, maybe just to share a little about the School of Life. From the beginning of this year, actually, it was being planned from last year already. We have introduced training courses as part of the School of Life.
Mm.
We also have tertiary application assistance under School of Life, meaning that, you know, the children or learners around our area and in the outskirts of Tzaneen, because we are based in Tzaneen. So the whole of Mopani right now, when they need, to further their studies, if the parents cannot be able to or cannot afford to take them to, your universities that are like 350 kilometers away or 1,000 kilometers away, they can actually just make a turn at the ICT hub and be able to get all that education that they are willing or wishing to or follow in the ambitions that they have. They can be able to fulfill it through the ICT hub. We offer various courses in agriculture. For instance, I've mentioned in IT as well. We offer those courses. We offer engineering courses as well. We offer construction courses as well. So our target, which is our province and the district of Mopani and other districts in the province, in Tsonga will say Babuyeriwile, because they don't have to travel those kilometers to actually get what they can get in a matter of a space of a radius, that can be easily accessible.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Good enough. We have Mama Tsaki with us, and we're so grateful to have you. Mantsakani Tsaki, we're so grateful to have you, and you're such a blessing. Don't be surprised when we say Mantsakani, because you are the mother of nations and the mother of men, the mother of boys. Good evening, Mama.
Good evening to the presenters. Good evening to the guests at the studios, viewers at home, and at large.
Okay, your network is a little bit cracking, but let's try it again if we can be able to get it a little bit clearer. If not, I'll have to call you, because you're very important here. We want to hear Hope Givers. Yeah, yes,
Okay,
Mama.
I'm trying to move. Am I better now?
Yeah, you're getting better now.
Okay. Good evening, Pastor. The viewers at home and the presenters at the studios.
Okay. So this is what I'm going to do, my dear viewers, and I'm going to call Mama Tsaki so that we have a more clearer conversation. And let me see. We have you on the screen. We have your wonderful pic here, which we all try and dress like you as men when it comes to putting our bow tie, on. So, but let me just take you on the line so that we are more clearer. Thank you. Let me see. Oh, my dear listeners and viewers, we are on Love SA, and we're excited this evening that we can be hosting Hope Givers Foundation, and I know that we are going to have a great and an awesome time. And I would love, in the meantime, to be giving my host, what do you have to say? Even as you have heard the one of the Hope Givers ambassadors, that's Sismongi here. Tell us exactly what Hope Givers is doing. Mr. Manga, you say.
Okay, thank you. Perhaps what we need to do now, as Siswongi has indicated, they seem to have an a la carte of programs that they offer. But tonight, this evening, will be more focused on the boy child or raising a legend aspect of their programs now. But very important to ask, a question that a listener or a viewer out there might have is to find out from Sister that exactly who are the midwives of the birth of Hope Foundation? Who inspired this initiative?
Okay, thank you so very much, our host. Sasaki, our host was still saying, who are the midwives of this great baby that is born? And if I may add to that, what inspired the birth of Hope Givers?
Undisi and the presenters, the midwives. I don't know if that's the word or how to put it, but I think in a nutshell, the Raising Legends was birthed by Hope Givers Foundation, with me being the founder of the organization, and supported by colleagues, team, and all of that. I always say that Hope Givers Foundation is bigger than an individual. We have our colleagues, we have stakeholders that contribute towards Raising Legends. And just to add to what our presenter just said now with regards to Raising Legends. Raising Legends is an initiative which the foundation founded 6 years ago. And what the reason behind that was that as the foundation, we used to be invited by the minister, by different organizations around 16 days of activism against women and children to go and march and talk about how men are abusing us, how men are trash, how men are ill-treating women and children at large. And as a foundation, we said to one of the ministers at the time that, Minister, we need to stop marching and come up with solutions which will assist in curbing these issues of gender-based violence. And if we are saying men are the main contributors of gender-based violence, what is it that we are doing as a society to understand these men? And our view was that if we have to understand a man, we have to understand men at an early childhood. Hence, Raising Legends was then formed as an initiative. And we said also, because there's been a lot of negative communication around men, we need to change that narrative that men are trash, men are this, men are that. And how do we do that? We decided that we want to have awards which will recognize men in different spaces who do good. It doesn't matter where you are, whether you're in sports, whether you're in business, whether you're in government, whether you're a community leader, you're a church leader, it doesn't matter. But our vision was to recognize men and also tell society that actually not all men are trash. And the only way you can do it is only when you can show real men who are making positive contributions in societies. So in a nutshell, that's how Raising Legends was formed. And we decided to partner men and young men in this initiative so that they can both walk the journey.
So if one understands you well there, what basically, or among other things, this program seeks, or initiative seeks to address is, I look at across all our cultural, let's say all our languages, our cultures as Black people in South Africa. We even went to an extent where we couched sayings like Indoda Aikali, Wanuna Angarili. So would I be correct to say that you realize that many a times a boy child is overshadowed when it comes to getting attention by an attention that seems to historically and inherently goes the girl child's way? Not that we are saying we must put an end to the initiatives that are there aimed at empowering a girl child.
Yeah, Mr. Manganyi, you are correct. We wanted to provide a platform, a healthy platform where men can easily say, I am not okay. where men can probably say, I didn't get that job that I woke up in the morning to go for. That's the whole thing, because patriarchy and history has actually put it out there that men cannot be seen as failures. Men must be a provider. If you can't provide, it means you're a loser. And as women as well, we've used that against men. When men come and say, I don't have money to do 1, 2, 3, then we're like, no, you're not man enough. You're not strong enough. How are you going to look after me? Not understanding that men also go through challenges that as women we go through. Even worse, men are judged by society. Men are judged by cultural norms. And that's how it's been. So as Hope Givers Foundation, we wanted to put a platform where men and young men can be free to express their true feelings. Where men can actually, when they go to police station to go and report a case, fellow.
Okay, let me see. Mama Taki, are we missing you? Mama Takani, we're missing you. All right, let's see. Mama Takani, can you hear me? Oh, all right. We just lost you, but we're quickly sorting that. And while we're doing so, Mama Bongi, what can you say about what Mama Takan was saying, especially when we look at having to march and call the slogans or express our dissatisfaction, our anger, and all that, and because of the violence against women and children, and until you said, let's stop this. Let's make sure that we're doing something. We're proactive. What can you say about that while we're connecting with Mama Tak?
Mfundisi, I can actually finish her statement because she was on that element of ridiculing men for things that they haven't really planned to do. They being called cowards, they being called useless. You cannot take care of me. When they go to a police station to report abuse, they get laughed at, by their fellow men. Instead of taking their case and investigating it, they become a laughing stock. And that becomes very unfair. And it says to these men, you are weak and there is nothing you can do. And when they come back home and give us that report, or we hear about it, instead of supporting them as their wives, as their sisters, as their girlfriends, cousins, we look at them and go, but now you are weak, And I think that is one of the main reasons why we're seeing what South African men has become today. They become abusive. If they cannot be abusive, they take their own lives because they feel there is no platform for them to take out what they have bottled in. Our presenter said there is that saying that indoda ayikali. But have we ever thought what happens to all those emotions when they do not cry? Where do they end up at? When they explode and want to take it out, what is it that they do? They will either kill or kill themselves. So that is why Hope Givers Foundation said, instead of waiting for something wrong to happen, let us be proactive. Let us change the narrative and say, we cannot just accuse these men of being useless. Let's give them a platform, a safe environment where they'll be able to exchange information, debate, talk about their feelings in a free and neutral venue where it's them against themselves. And in that session, you also bring your boys who are the main focus because they're still growing up. And if we get it right now, that they're still young, we're going to have a very, progressive and non-violent society going forward. But right now, our men's confidence is being trampled on because we do not give them that opportunity to talk to us, especially as they are women. If they talk and we feel like he's not being strong enough, instead of encouraging them, we bash them. And that is what causes all these things that are happening.
Wow. We are just going to take a commercial break, and when we come back, I see our co-host, Mr. Ngobeni, would love to follow up. But after that, we'll be looking at zooming into Raising Legends Summit 2023 so that we get more and more information around it. But thank you so very much. And we continue on Love SA, the Nehemiah phenomenon. And thank you, our viewers. Thank you, our listeners, for being with us. Thank you.
Good evening once again, our viewers and listeners of Bold Moves. This is Love SA. I'm Moses Ngobeni, the co-host for tonight. Well, Mama Tsaki, I welcome you into the show. Good evening to you too as well. I'm kind of going to jump right into it, and I should indicate I feel somewhat jealous because our executive producer, Mama Wongi, they are all wearing yellow, and it feels to me like I didn't get the memo. But in any event, I will ignore that one. It's an issue to discuss another day. Mama Tak and Mama Longi, raising the concept, or rather the project Raising a Boy Child, appeals to me as that which is going to strengthen and or ensures social compact and cohesion. But I want to find out at most, men are generally under attack. And we somewhat look away at what influences this behavior. Not that there isn't an issue to complain about, but they are generally under attack. And I want to try and find out, with the kind of age groups that we are trying to deal with, to try and change the narrative, to bring it and bring so much positivity around it. How deep is the damage?
Mama Tsaki?
Mfundisi, he was a bit far. I can hear you clear, but I couldn't hear him properly.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. He was saying, look, while you're working with men and young men,
yes,
what are those things that you found to be the cause of most of the behavior, like this in his words? Men are like under attack, you know.
Yeah.
There's something that is really, and at the most sometimes, or they try and speak up or express themselves in ways that silences even the voice or the words that they were trying to say because of bursting out in violence. And working with men, and most especially young men, even at a young age, what are some of the things that you have found to be the causes of all this?
Okay, thank you so much, Mfundisi. It boils down to what society has said about men in general. Because even when you look at we look at what are the core reasons why a person, whether it's a boy or a man, behaves in a certain manner. Obviously, background and circumstances that these people are coming from contributes highly on how they behave. And when we go back home, I'll talk about, I think most, whether you are, it doesn't matter where you're from, but when you look at how a girl child and a boy child are treated, they're treated differently. In other rural provinces, we found that patriarchy is big, where boys or men are being seen as the chiefs and the kings of families, meaning that, I'll give a simple example. You can't eat nyama before your brother has eaten. You must wait for them to eat, and all of that. Then you go in other places where a girl child will be given preference than a boy child. So issues of patriarchy, not having space where men can also express how they feel. And this is, it cuts across. It doesn't matter. It's not at home only. Even at the workplace. In a workplace, men are expected to behave in a certain manner. At church, men are expected to behave in a certain manner. In your church, brother, even if brother does not have money to take his psyche out, he will have to go ayakolota so that he's been seen as being a man, you know. So how the cultural backgrounds has contributed highly on how men are behaving now. And hence, right now we are saying we now need to give a platform where men can express themselves, where women can also understand, by the way, the same men that we are saying they are weak and all of that are actually human, actually have feelings the same way we have. In fact, they hurt more. Our men are hurting every day. Because if I go now to a psychologist and say I'm not fine, it will be seen as it's normal. But if a man goes to a psychologist and say they are not fine, they'll be saying, this man is weak, or this man really is just wasting our time. So the issues of not having spaces and opportunities and platforms when men can express themselves has contributed highly in the anger and the social or the ills or bad mannerism in which men are actually contributing. But even worse, Pastor, our justice system has actually haven't been very fair on men. And I'll give you as an example that I give all the time. Women all the time, they will go and see a man, go sleep with a man. The following day, demands money from men. When men say they don't have that money or they can't afford that money, then we go run and we say we are being raped. When we say we are being raped, the justice system don't stop and ask if indeed Tsakani was raped. They go and arrest whoever that Tsakani said raped her, without questioning, without doing anything. So this becomes a societal and a more collective issue that needs to be tackled by different stakeholders to make sure that one messaging is sent out there. Men must be given same opportunities, same hearing, and the justice system must be able to say what happens in an instance where Tsakani has falsely accused someone that they raped them while they didn't rape them. And this person has been serving a lifetime, like 11 years in jail for something they didn't commit. So I think in summary, it's the causes have been lack of platforms for men to freely express their emotions and feelings.
Yeah.
And just
if I follow up to that one, a listener be with us wondering that what we are raising is actually very much important, and particularly looking at the fact that South Africa in general has some sort of a prejudice against men at large. To mention something that I find intriguing on my end, and this is regard the fact that the Israeli very
Kokwani Ngobeni, you are very, very Jackie. So I also cannot get you clearer. But
Yeah.
but if you can drop that question on the window there, I will then pass it on, because your network seems to be on amber always. So it gets a little bit challenging for you to be audible. And then, like I said, maybe one of the things that would love to zoom in so that we are able to do justice in the few minutes that we have, would be looking at Raising Legends Awards 2023. If you could take us through that, Mamataki, and tell us exactly what are we looking at and what is the approach this year?
Okay, so as we said, this is our 6th year, and the project or the initiative is done in 2 ways, where we have the summit and we have the awards. The summit is happening on the 25th of March, which is this month, at Maranatha Tabernacle Church, and the awards are happening in June the 24th. And we've already opened the nominations for people to nominate young boys, to nominate men that are doing or that are making an impact in different spaces that they operate in. The nominations are already in. We got over 200 nominees already. So what we're planning to do is on the day of the summit, on the 25th of March, this is when we'll officially launch the voting lines for the awards. So we will announce who the nominees are on the day of the summit, and we'll be encouraging people from different corners to actually vote for the people that they nominated. By the way, Mfundisi, these are national awards. I think if you remember when you attended last year, that we had people coming from KZN, from Bloemfontein, from Gauteng, and all of that. So this is also a great platform as the province for us to be able to showcase what our province is all about, and the hospitality that our province has to offer. So on the 25th of March, we are expecting to have men and boys coming all over from different provinces to gather at Maranatha Tabernacle, and we encourage men and women to actually adopt boys. And when you say adopt, we're not saying take this boy and stay with them at your house. We are saying for the 25th of March, please look at the young men around you. Bring them to the summit. We've put in the tickets prices there, basically just to cover the logistics, such as catering for the boys and the guests that will be coming. So we are asking men and women to buy tickets for the boys to come through, because whether we like it or not, that boy child who does not get support and they're lingering in the streets, at the end of the day, they are going to become criminals. They're going to become rapists. And these are our children. These are our brothers. These are our brothers that if only us can assist them. So we are encouraging men and women to come together in one voice of supporting a boy child for the 25th of March summit and the 24th of June for the awards. We'll be sharing more information on the awards after the 25th. What's important now is for us to gather on the 25th of March and make an impact. Thank you, Pastor.
Mamataki, thank you so very much. But still on that, even before I allow my host to also maybe ask something around it. It's about, you said, adopt a child. Or adopt a boy child, which is very much important. How do we exactly do that? And are there numbers? Because sometimes I might not have a boy that I know, but I might want to sponsor a boy and say, please, is there a boy that you know that would really need to come? I'm looking at boys that are raised by both the parents and boys that are raised by the single parents,
Yes.
How do we do it if it comes to that? Yes, for the boys that I know, the boys that I see, and
Yes.
also to register them, because I think it's important for logistics purposes that that comes early. So
Yes.
what are the logistics? If I bringing a boy and sponsoring him, it's another thing. But what if a businessman, what if a mother, what if a father there says, hey, I don't have a son, but
Yeah.
you know what? If I empower a boy child,
Yes.
I'm empowering my son-in-law. You know,
Yes.
what can we do? How do we do it?
For this, we as the foundation, we work with the schools.
Oh, yes.
And so we have boys
Oh, yes.
that are readily available to want to attend the event. So I'll give an example. Yesterday we got other people also saying, look, we are in Botswana, but we want to sponsor 10 boys.
Oh, yes.
And what it means is that they will then buy the ticket for the 10 boys, and then we will then locate those 10. We will then put the 10 boys as boys that have been sponsored by that particular individual or company. So we have thousands and thousands of boys who are at schools, boys who are in the streets, boys that we work with at the foundations, boys that used to be in the streets, but now they are out of the streets and they need a session such as this one. So if the sponsors, in fact, we encourage companies, we encourage government, leadership, mayors, everyone, premier, adopt boys. We have thousands and thousands of boys that we want to bring into this program. The only challenge is that we don't have the resources to carry them. So if there's resources, we can guarantee you up to 5,000 boys that we can bring on the day.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's awesome. And our host, any question, any follow-up on that?
I must say that you asked a question that covered what I needed to ask, but I'm fascinated in the aspect of justice in what Sister Kan Sisbongi indicated there, Sister Kan rather, that there's something that I need our viewers, our listeners to take home with, that Sister Kan earlier on indicated or made mention or reference to say a case of rape, what happens, a man is reported this and that. Now, a viewer, a listener at home might say that it looks like in the heart of justice, there lies some injustice. But Sister Kan, would you then agree with me that justice as we would want to have it, or as envisaged in our constitution, it is a shared responsibility which requires honest participation by citizens, that if there are any activities to be reported, it must be activities that are truly happen the way are said to have occurred. Otherwise, law enforcement agencies, they'll have problem exactly making sense of whether it's true or not what they are confronted with as allegations of commission of crime.
Namataki?
For the summary of that?
Oh, yes. He was saying, is it not then a shared responsibility?
Yeah.
Because sometimes it is like the justice system has failed people, but the truth being that there is not involvement of community at large to make sure that a case that is reported is really a case and not a fabricated case. And he's calling for, is it not important to have a shared responsibility as society to make sure that we are taking responsibility? For example, also to make sure that we are making this awareness that, I remember saying it's wrong for somebody to fake rape while we've got people that are raped.
Yeah. Correct.
So that at the end of the day, it undermines
Mamatsaki, you may come in there. I think we have some sort of a glitch from the side of our executive producer. Please.
Mamatsaki, are you still with us? We seem to have glitches between Mamatsaki and our executive producer, but the essence of the question that or comment that I made earlier on was that we need to be responsible as citizens when it comes to matters of justice.
They can even ban that person. So what we are saying is, let's have a fair balance in how we treat these issues. Because I give an example. If a man has been falsely accused and they go to jail for 10 years without being heard, what goes on into that man's head if they know that they are innocent? So we are grooming more and more men who are angry every day by not giving them a fair platform where they can express themselves. And that's the point that we're trying to make. And this is what the summit is trying to do as well, where we can openly talk and hear from young men, hear from men, the day-to-day experiences that they are facing. And we're not saying we want to hear issues only. We are saying now that there are these issues, what are the solutions attached to these issues? Where we can jointly come up with solutions which will benefit communities at large. And when I talk about communities, I'm talking about different stakeholders, from government to policing, to justice, to everyone. So I think what we're trying to say is the same platform that we have for women, for girls, to be able to express themselves, let's have the same platforms available to young men and men in general.
Very powerful. Before we go to our parting shots, I see Mr. Ngobeni, his network is good. Mr. Ngobeni, we have been battling to come through, but I see your network is good. Before we go to parting shots, hi Rabswana, Kambiri Ranguna Ragfua.
Thank you, Kowan. Mamatsaki, thank you for what you've shared thus far. I made a mistake of giving Mr. Mangani my workstation, and now Network One Bonzoka. But be that as it may, Mamatsaki, just a quick one. How do we then appeal to a police officer in the police station who's listening to a complaint coming from a man that he's being abused at home? How do we appeal to social media, which is now pushing that narrative, which continues to put so much pressure on men that in order must? Because without deviating the focus from a boy child, there's still so much pressure from those within society whom we would consider that they are mature. But how is that boy child going to survive when they are elevated into those levels of society where there's that much prejudice against them?
I hope I'm going to answer properly because I couldn't hear some of it.
Yes.
But I think what we have started as Hope Givers Foundation is exactly the how, where we are going to make it fashionable for police to understand what's right, what's not right, what can be said, what can't be said. This goes even back to issues of social cohesion, where different cultural groups can come together in understanding one another. So us starting a platform like the summit, the Raising Legends Summit, we are saying we will be giving teachings. By the way, we have agreed that this is going to be a 365 round initiative. In between the summit and the awards, we will be talking about what can be done, what cannot be done. The activism, be part of the voice that needs to change the status quo. So until you show the impact that police has when they turn back a man. I think there was a case in Mogalakwena where a man went to police station and said, my woman is abusing me, and the police laughed at him. When he went back, he went and killed that girl. Then societies came out, activists came out and say justice for so and so. And everyone ignored the fact that this young man went to the police station to report. So we need to have proper education about the consequences of ridiculing and treating men in a certain manner. And also educating ways of not spoon feeding or not making it okay for women to think that they can just claim and make false claims and the law will be on their side. So what we need to do is to make sure that we educate, we bring more awareness, we talk more about this, and when things are happening, we act on that spot. Because it becomes a problem when we act 6 months later when something becomes a statistic, versus us being on the ground and making sure that we preach the word, we do campaigns, we educate, and we bring more awareness. But also bring more activities for men to feel that actually it's actually okay for us to participate in such things, So it's basically just putting up platforms that will give more awareness and education to society at large.
Mama Tsaki, thank you so very much. And today, being the executive producer, I'm going to add just till 15:15 so that we round up because my hosts, they must be able to round up and give their parting shots and also give your parting shots. But in the studio also here we have Mama Joy Maribat, who's hailing from the United Kingdom, and she's been working there for some time now. And Mama Joy, we just want to hear from you. When we talk of gender-based violence, the scourge of gender-based violence, is it only prevalent in South Africa, or is it something that is happening out there? And what can you say? You are also a parent, you are also a health professional. What is it that you can share with us?
Thank you, Pastor Strike, for this opportunity. What I would like to say or to add on this, the people who have spoken have spoken most of the important issues. But on the healthcare side, I would say it is important to involve the child when you're pregnant. Mostly is to get all the vitamins and be healthy so that you can have a healthy child. And if you get a child born, sometimes the causes may be different, that it can be a traumatic birth or it is like an inheritance or causes which comes through the environment. So when the child is growing up, the important thing is to involve the child in his growth, give them opportunities to involve in all the issues which you are doing, and judge them, accept the responsibility, and give them toys which will enhance their mental state, and also play with them. Do not put them down, like give them autonomous decision to make, so they can feel that they are not sidelined, so they can be healthy men for tomorrow. And if you are a single mom also, do not say, I wish there was a man to mentor this boy. You can do it as a woman, because men is just men as they are. They are role model, yes, but you as a mother, you should be a role model. Do not state that I wish there was a husband or there was a man to do 1, 2, 3. The child does not know that, but you have to be responsible to be taking that child into the further education and make sure that you are bringing them in a healthy environment, give them friends around them so they can be socially involved with other children, play with them, give them tasks which they are of their age and which they are going to make their minds grow further.
So, Mama Joy, if I hear you clear, so the upbringing of the child, even from pregnancy, goes a long way.
Yes.
There can be traumas that can really affect the adult in this child.
Yes.
Sure, that's something very much important, because one of the things maybe that is also true, I can imagine a teenager getting pregnant, and the next thing the boy says, it's not me, and the frustration, the stress, all that goes to, and at home also, if you are a church and then the church excommunicate you and they say the family says you embarrassed, I think that's another thing, and you're bringing something very important. Sometimes we're surprised, what kind of an adult is this? But the truth is that there are things that happened at a very sensitive stage of a child development. Thank you so very much, Mama Joy. That's why we wanted you to bring this aspect of things. And at the same time, may I give you your parting shots, because we are now going to be giving our parting shots. What would you love to say to a mother? What would you love to say to a father? What would you love to say to your son? Because, when you said, as a mother, don't give excuses. We all are raised by mothers. And that is why I must say to Hope Givers, I'm so blessed and I'm so excited to see that Hope Givers Foundation is ladies. And, somebody will say, this foundation should be men. No. We all are born of women. You are the ones who taught us how to speak, how to eat, how to dress, how to wash. You're the ones. Even those of us who grew up with our fathers. But our fathers, because of the system, they were far away from us. They were working in Joburg. Some they will go for a year for all that. But Mama was always there. So Hope Givers, thank you so very much. Your parting shots, Mama Joy.
It is important for parents to involve the child in his growth. Do not let them do things which they cannot handle, but be part of it and give them opportunities to explore. Do not block them if they want to make changes. Just guide them and show them the right way to go, instead of blocking what they want to explore. Like now, it's the 21st century. There's the boys are cooking and cleaning. They are not. You don't have to tell the boy, don't go to the kitchen. The kitchen is for the girls. Do not clean. The mopping is for the girls. No, I was brought up by my father, and who was teaching me how to engineer the car. And now I can change the battery, I can change the wheels, and people will go like, oh, wow, you can do that. And my boys can cook, clean, and do all the things. So do not judge them, just explore them, and then they will discover themselves who they are.
Wow, thank you so very much. Our host, you will be the last to give us your parting shots, because we are in your under your care here. Kokwan Goben. Okay, Kokwan Goben seemed to be still having a challenge there. Let me go to Mama Bongi. Mama Bongi in the studio here. What are your parting shots, ma'am?
Thank you so much, Mfundisi. And I like what Mama has just said, squashing the narrative of women's places in the kitchen, and vice versa. You need to find guys where previously they were not supposed to be there. But coming back to raising legends, our parting shot is, let's please support these boys. Let's bring them on the 25th for the summit. Let's give them the opportunity to express themselves, to cry if they need to share the challenges they have. And for those people who are not able to be physically there, they can also support our SMS campaign by SMSing the word legends. It's in the plural, legends with an S, to the number 38513. Legends to number 38513. 513. Actually, if they can hear me, they can start doing it now, showing support to this very worthy initiative. And the SMS costs only 10 Rand, but the results therefore are priceless. We're going to have a youth that grows up very responsible, non-violent, non-sexist.
Yes, our wonderful viewers and listeners, right there on the screen, you can see clearly that is SMS Legends to 38513, and SMS costs about 10 Rand, because you may not be able to sponsor a young person, but through this SMS you are sponsoring a young person. I would love to say to Hope Givers, even before I hand over to my host, I would love to say, would love to have another show with yourselves a week before the 25th, as we continue to pump this initiative and this program, because it is important for us to be involved. It's important for us men. That is why I appreciate, and I was not reluctant when I have to join my host and my co-host, because I knew these gentlemen, as men, we are standing and saying we support our boy child, and would love to say to South Africa, don't say I don't have a son, because your daughter is going to marry a boy. And let us let's join hands and do it together. And Mama Taki, your parting shots.
Mfundisi, it takes a village to raise a child. And as Hope Givers Foundation, we can be the thought provokers behind the initiative. However, we need everyone to join the hands with us, as you've rightly put it. Let's make sure that we jointly change the narrative about a boy child or about men, so that we can all live in a more healthier and conducive environment. And next time when Bakukama Chiwaka 16 days, we will use that as a celebration, because we won't be having these GBV cases. So around 16 days of activism, we will have a big festival celebrating the men that we have.
Wow. Beautiful, beautiful. Thank you, Mama Tsake. And then, Kokwan Goben, while I see your network is excited, your parting shots.
Thank you, Kokwan Manganya. I've been having serious network issues today, but be that as it may, thank you, Mama Tsake, Mama Bongi, for joining us tonight. We really enjoyed your company here on radio, Love SA. We've learned of the importance of raising the boy child, not only through the summits that are being done, like Raising the Boy Child Project, but also as far back as that stage shortly after conception, birth, going on like that. We need, as a society, to deviate from this thing of assigning gender roles to the girl and boy child, which brings a lot of confusion as well as a lot of entitlement. If we want to fix society, we need to look right there at our roots. From me, your co-host, Moses Ngobeni, I say thank you so much to our viewers and our listeners for joining us tonight. We may not have been able to acknowledge you individually, but we really appreciate having you here. We really appreciate you supporting us. A show of this magnitude, we really need 2 hours. Kokwan Manganya, I should put that through to you as our executive producer as you're here. We need 2 hours. The time was not enough. We are actually way out of our time that we should have still been live. But otherwise, from me, thank you so much. Keep well and have a good night.
Thank you, Kokwan Ngobeni. And our host, I just used the authority vested on me as the executive producer to extend this time, but to be honest, we're trying to but
we need more than an hour from this. We need more than an hour.
No, the show that we're going to have before a week before, we are going to allocate 2 hours on it, so that
we need 2 hours.
So that we're able to really dive deep.
Definitely.
Yes.
And then our host, Mr. Manganyi, say, you can sum up everything. After you, I'm not saying anything.
Thank you. And once again, thank you to our guest. What a justice you did to this aspect that is usually overshadowed by many other aspects that society tends to look at. And I must say that in addition to what Sister Kani said about raising a child, that it takes a village, let me also say, Sister Kani, to our guests, the rest of our guests and our viewers, that it also takes a self-availing a child to be raised by society. So to our kids, our young men, please avail yourself for you to be ideal candidates for this a great opportunity, such as this presented to us by Hope Air Foundation. And I must also say that I've never seen democracy in terms of equality until this evening, that we have 3 men as presenters, as hosts, and 3 guests. And this, I'm almost tempted to say that it was presented by Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, but no, that was Pastor Strike, Ngobeni, and myself. And from ourselves, we'll say next time, same place. Let's meet. Let's continue with our love for SA. And this concludes our edition for Love SA this evening.